What's up? Welcome back. I'm John Stark from BackTheMovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic, and today we're diving back into Only Murders in the Building, Season 5, Episode 1. Yes, another show I'm recapping right now. I would also be recapping Daryl Dixon for you, but I'm having problems. Amazon doesn't have the new episode up for AMC Plus. If you subscribe to AMC Plus through that, and AMC Plus will not help you. They're like, well, that we don't have anything to do with that. Anything is a strong word, considering it's your brand. That's that's a strong word, bro. But anyway, we're here for Only Murders in the Building, um, which is back, back again. Shady's back. Tell a friend. It's on Hulu. It has audio description. So let's go. I recapped last season. I've been watching the whole damn thing. So special guest stars in this episode. I clocked what I believe is Carol Kane. I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna stick with that. We're gonna go with Carol Kane. We've got Renee Zellweger. Um, we've got clearly Keegan Michael Key. Clocked him immediately. I mean, his voice is so just like right. I didn't even need to look that up. Didn't even need to validate that. Like, who's in this? Oh, Keegan Michael Key's in this episode. Thank you, sir. And Bobby Cannavale, and I guess Logan Lerman is in this. So those were the other ones that I was able to find out. I guess Christoph Waltz is doing this season as well. That's fun. So we got a bunch of different people. And we pick up where we left off, where the doorman to the building was not murdered in the building, but he died outside of it. So it's like only murdered near the building. And then our intrepid trio are trying to figure out what to do. Oliver is eating some shrimp, and I loved the thing. I like the little gags. It's the little throwaway lines that get me sometimes. The thing about like 5 days if it's been on ice, 6 days if you've had salmonella recently, like that got me. I thought that was a great joke. But he's going through shrimp from his wedding. Meryl Streep did not appear in this episode, but I do believe she is confirmed to return this season. And eventually he picks up what is like a finger, and it's been in with the shrimp. And then that sets them off because they're trying to debate about whether or not their doorman was murdered or not. Because it's been sort of ruled just, not a murder, like nothing suspicious about it. But they find some photos, they find somebody giving him a package. Plus, at the end of last season, there was a mob boss that approached Mabel and asked if, the podcasters could investigate the disappearance of her husband. And they were like, well, we're not a detective agency, we're just podcasters. I feel like at this point you are a detective agency, but so they decide to go visit the mob and find out maybe if the finger belongs to that. They wonder if it's part of the doorman, which leads to sort of a hilarious sequence of Steve Martin getting into that physical comedy where he's climbing all around a corpse trying to feel the hands of the dead man, because the doorman requested to lie in state. So he's just in the middle of the atrium of this building, and there's like a party, and the mayor comes by, and he's like, I love this man who I did not know. I mean, there were so many great little moments that made me go, you know what, in season 5, they still got it. They've still got it. This still works. So they'll go to the family, which is Renee Zellweger is the mafia lady. But she explains, she's like, the mafia's not real. And I love her explanation for it is, she's like, they're Martin Scorsese is making movies about Native Americans and Irish people, and like this is the mafia's dead. Like there's the thing, there are no more stories. Why do you think my kids are in there talking about things from the 70s? It's because there is no mob. So they when they get there, they meet these boys, and they're trying to launch a podcast. They're all her kids, and they're trying to come across as wise guys, but they're not. They're all kind of just weak. Uh, one of them is Brant or something like that. They all have like sort of like Italian names, and then they get to the last guy who has something like not even remotely close to an Italian name. And it's a good gag. It was funny, and then they reveal themselves as podcasters. And finally, our trio sits down with Zellweger, who is like, "Well, find my husband, and you know, we run like a cleaning business, and that's why." And so he was probably in this photo. He's probably handing receipts off. But Nikki gets on these gambling binges. That's why I wanted you to find him, is because sometimes he has a drug problem and a gambling problem, and he might just be off somewhere, but he hadn't been home in a while. And then she slips Charles's pack of cards, which Charles uses to figure out. One of them ends up having a map on it, and they get back when they're in their building. They realize it's a map that helps them through their building, and they find like a secret passageway, and they end up getting into this room, this crazy room with all these like game things, like a almost like a speakeasy is what it kind of felt like. There was like actually like a door with a card reader of all things. He had to hold up the pack of cards, the ace of clubs or something like that, or diamonds, to it. And meanwhile, Oliver is trying to get the hat clean to prove that he loved the doorman as much as everybody else. So he goes into this cleaners that's, I guess, adjacent to their building, and walks in. And this scene was kind of dumb because he's like looking through the clothes that are not his, and there's no one in the building. It's just him. Like no one has responded. Like he could be breaking in right now for all he knows. Like there's no one in this cleaner. No human has responded to him, and he's just like in there. And I was like, well, obviously, you know. So I mean, some of it was a little telling, but I felt like I knew exactly where we were headed, which was eventually Oliver finds the body of Nikki, and it's in this rack of dry cleaning clothes. He's like hung up on it in his tux suit jacket thing. So they find Nikki, he's dead. So now they have a murder to solve, and that sets out the season. So that's a quick recap. They dropped 3 episodes, so I'm doing the first one for you right now, and then I'll have to catch up and do the other ones in and around all of the other shows I'm already recapping. So look for 2 and 3 later on. Eventually we'll be lined up on this show, but there's episode 1 for you. Only Murders in the Building. Who killed Bobby Cannavale? Who would do such a thing? Probably somebody from The Sopranos. But yeah, so if I had to guess based on just the first episode, I think there's something about it where, and I don't think I'm going to be right, but I have a very limited amount of people to guess. And last season, I felt like the killer was sort of uneventful because it had all these huge guest stars, and then the killer ended up being somebody who really isn't a huge name in terms of actors. So this time around, I wonder if they're going to do the same thing, if they're going to use the major stars as a distraction. But if I had to guess based on the first episode, I'd say Zellweger, because she didn't need to give Charles the pack of cards, but the pack of cards sends them into this room. You know what I'm saying? But she's also expecting that Charles is smart enough. Charles is also kind of flirting with her. So I could see it being Zellweger. That would be my guess based on the first episode, is that the person, the great way to seem innocent is to be the one to try and hire somebody to find your husband, you know, so that you see, so the scent is off of you because you're the one who's looking for the, you're essentially looking for yourself, basically, at that point. So Zellweger is my guess. Renee Zellweger is my guess for killer of season 5. Anyway, let me know what you think. Who's the killer for Only Murders in the Building? And I will get you more episodes. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I'll see you guys on the other side.